So, welcome again to another episode of WSX, and I don't know, my name is Teflon. So, Ibrahim Traoré banned all Android phones from every army personnel. And this is one of the main reasons why he was able to file all attempts on his life, about 21 attempts on his life, and also all these attacks by these insurgent groups and NGOs who are attacking him from all different angles. Because what? There is no Android use allowed in the army, which is key. Android gives away locations, information, and all that. But let's take a listen to what the citizens of Burkina Faso are saying about this, what Ibrahim Traoré did with his arm. But take a listen, because it's best to hear from the people who are on the ground about it. So let's take a listen. Boom.
The elected official is another Thomas Sankara in disguise. The president of Faso remains firm. No Android phones are allowed in the theaters of operation. Any violator is subject to severe sanctions, even dismissal. For the people of Isia, focus and discipline remain the foundation of any strong army. These remarks by the head of state are therefore widely approved.
Several times we've actually been caught out by the use of those phones. I'm thinking of Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on, which can only lead the soldier to forget, in fact, that he's in a place where he must never let his guard down. I think the president was right to take such a firm tone.
I believe there was already a directive from the general staff prohibiting this for several years now, but he certainly noticed that despite the measure, there are still some who continue to use them, and he even gave the example of captured enemies who mentioned that they often took advantage of soldiers being distracted by their phones to gain the upper hand in a confrontation. It was about time that the president, especially as the commander-in-chief, took a firm stand on this issue.
Beyond military operations, Captain Ibrahim Traoré asked the boys to be more than just soldiers, to be ambassadors of peace and social cohesion with the civilian population. A program that redefines the role of the army in rebuilding the nation's social fabric.
Soldier is also a civilian. It goes without saying that he is also affected by his environment. There must be understanding between the civilian population and the soldiers in order to effectively fight against terrorism. In times of war, what could be better than cohesion between civilians and the military? They say it's when there's a crack in the wall that the enemy manages to slip through. So we must work in harmony, especially when facing this particular threat. So I think it's still important. The soldiers, who are considered the bulwarks of civil society, must be guides and collaborators.
Beyond military victory, President Traoré also outlined a future where the resilience and well-being of the Burkinabe people are at the heart of the priorities. His promise of state-of-the-art hospital infrastructure reflects this holistic vision.
A country that wants
Abroad to get medical treatment, and if we have these hospitals and the appropriate staff to handle serious illnesses or those hospitals that are struggling in our countries, it will be very welcome.
the resources we have underground will also help to develop our country. And if we manage to do this, we will also have modern infrastructure like the so-called developed countries.
So there you see multiple regular citizens, not people who was paid or reporters, regular citizens who appreciate what Ibrahim Traoré is done. They can see the love and respect and patriotism they have by the way they speak about their leader and about their country, and the love they have for their army, fellow army, military personnel. So this having Android phone is a brilliant idea from Ibrahim Traoré to ban it. Because sometimes a soldier wouldn't even do things deliberately. It could be just naturally on your phone, just for instance sending a post to your spouse or to your kid, or you go online and do something, and then that is tagged and pinned, and they find your location. And who knows what? Okay, there's so many things can come true from an Android phone, because it's basically a GPS, and everywhere you are, and also they can turn on the cameras and also the mics on these phones via hacking your phone. So it's a very good idea, and hence the reason why we can see not only Burkina Faso, why the AES Alliance Army is also so proactive, and they are so well trained, and they are that's one of the reasons why they are winning all their battles against these insurgent and extremist groups who are trying to destabilize this area of Africa, the West Africa actually, the Sahel nations. But big ups to Ibrahim Traoré for taking this step, and not only Ibrahim Traoré, Gato and Tinini. I love the fact that these three leaders are working arm in arm, and they have tried everything to break them apart, but it's not gonna work this time because, as I said, we are more knowledgeable now and we have more access to information than how our foreparents had, like Itama Sankara in the 1980s or Lumumba in the Congo in the 60s, and all these other great leaders who was taken out before their time actually. So anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section about the banning of Android phones in the army in Burkina Faso. Boom.